Berkeley Post 14 baseball is back. Catch every Hornets home game this season and the Legion Area Tournament right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Pavanelli rounds third, coming home to score. The throw on the money. The tag not in time. Pavanelli's safe, and Berkeley Post 14 walks it off in the bottom of the eighth. Landon Sifford is the hero for the Hornets.
Your home of Berkeley Post 14 baseball is right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
The following is a special sports broadcast presentation of Talk Radio WRNR Martinsburg.
Play ball! It's time for the excitement of American Legion Baseball, featuring the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets.
Myers with the pitch, swung on and missed. Jason Myers gets the last out, and the Berkeley Post 14 Hornets are the state champions of American Legion Baseball in West Virginia.
Let's go live to the field and join our Talk Radio WRNR broadcast team.
Welcome out to P.O. Faulkner Park here in Martinsburg, West Virginia, getting you set for American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Dylan Bishop with you on the call. John Alderton is our on-site producer. Kyler High and Alec Epperson behind the cameras on TV 10. Colin McLaughlin back at the studio. Post 14 hosting Funkstown Post 211 here this evening. A matchup that we just saw on Monday on what you could consider a neutral site at Fairfax Field at Shepherd University, where Post 14 was able to get the win over Post 211, a game that we saw kind of a bullpen game, if you want to call it. Johnny Holstaff, as Tripp likes to say, was the pitcher that evening. And we're going to see a similar start at the very least here today for Post 14, with Jackson Earl taking the mound to start. This was scheduled to be a start for Jameer Brown. A little bit under the weather, didn't want him to pitch. They're going to send him out to shortstop instead. So we'll see how that changes things around. We'll hear from Tripp Tobin in the second segment of our pregame show here, which is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Buy your next vehicle online, and they'll deliver it to you. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. Post 14 with a good start to the season, 3-0. This week, this is the fourth game in 4 days for the Hornets. Last night, a game that we didn't have because it was an away game for them. They went to Potomac Valley, Post 64, got themselves a 13-1 win, which saw Jet Gross pitch a very good game up on the mound. Christian Alter closed it out with 7 runs in the 7th inning coming for the Hornets to increase the lead even more than they had early on. It's a team that's young, especially in the lineup department. They're thought to have good pitching, but the lineup really came through with a lot of runs yesterday against a team which Coach Tobin said was also shorthanded themselves, but still got the job done. They'll see if they can continue it here today against Funkstown Post 211 again and get another win over them. But first we'll take a 2-minute break, and when we come back you'll hear from Tripp Tobin, manager of the Post 14 Hornets. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
Whoa, what's all this? Robbie's Quack Attack at Floor Pools? Pick a duck and save up to 15% off your in-store purchase? That's wild! Now through June 21st, pick a duck and save up to 15% on chemicals, toys, and limited supplies to have a safe and enjoyable summer in your pool. That's right, a lucky duck can save big bucks now through June 21st. Robbie knows your cool summer headquarters is Floor Pools. They've got hot tubs starting at just $49 a month, pools from $100 a month, and saunas starting at $80 a month. Don't forget about cold plunges and endless pools too. And check this out. Floor Pools now offers plunge pools. These compact in-ground pools are perfect for smaller backyards, low maintenance, energy efficient, and ideal for cooling off, relaxing, or even fitness and hydrotherapy. Big style and small footprint. It's everything you want in a pool without taking over your yard. The pool experts at Floor Pools are here to help you all summer long. Floor Pools in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, and Martinsburg, where your summer oasis starts.
Hey, it's Cody from Cody's Auto Body.
You're a potty mouth.
But we do a really great job fixing cars after an accident.
I know, but you're still a potty mouth.
I'm possibly the best friend you could ever have.
You are, but potty mouth.
If you need your car repaired, come to Cody's Auto Body, located at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Because that's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
See? Potty mouth.
Leave me alone.
Welcome back to the Hagerstown Ford pregame show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. We'll get you our pregame interview brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs? Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. Hear from Tripp himself right now.
All right, here with Tripp Tobin of the Post 14 Hornets. Coach, you guys got the win over Post 64 last night, coming down to the end stretch of a big week here for you guys. What were your main takeaways from yesterday's game?
The guys were kind of patient at the plate. They had a couple guys that were, threw the ball a little herky-jerky, junk ballers, and we popped it up, hit into a pretty easy double play there. And those guys made the routine plays, and we give them an opportunity to make those plays. But later in the game, they started hitting the ball in the gap and, earned it from there. But, yeah, hats off to Post 64. They're a little short-handed, a little young, but they hung right in there with what I think is a pretty good team here, hitting team here at Post 14. And, it was a pretty close game up until about the seventh inning when we finally got the handle on it.
We know that the team is kind of young, but you've gotten a lot of production out of the lineup so far early on in this week. Does it feel like they might be ahead of schedule for how, young that some of these guys are?
Yeah, I think this group's been ahead of schedule for a while. They come up through the junior legion ranks, and they were, pretty special, a lot of them. And and you see what they did this year in the EPAC. So I think they've been ahead of the schedule, a long time. So coming in, they were already ahead of schedule, and now they're moving forward. So yeah, they're just a special group. They like each other. A lot of 26 graduates on here, so rising seniors, and they play like they've been here for a while, and they seem to feel like that nobody can beat them. They have a lot of confidence.
You got a good performance on the mound from Jet Gross. How'd you feel about that? And Christian Alter finishing things off for you.
Well, to start off with Christian, he does what Christian does. He throws strikes, and, you have to catch the ball behind him, and, he kind of catches guys off guard. He throws a big curveball. Then, he speeds up his fastball. His off-speed makes his fastball better, and, he just pounds his own, doesn't walk a lot of guys. We had a good lead and didn't want a bunch of walks. Jet had thrown nearly 80 pitches. He was scheduled to go about 60, but he wanted to go a little bit farther and stretch it out a little bit. He didn't have his best stuff, and he wanted to fight through it. So we talked to him, and he did, and I'm glad for it. He hasn't really had a seventh inning or a long start in a couple weeks, and he wanted to run that out there. So he's not going to be available on Sunday, Father's Day, at Pennsylvania. So wasn't a use to save him either. But we did get a little over than we probably should have, but he kind of wanted it.
Who are we seeing on the mound tonight to start things out, and what can we expect from him?
Well, Earl's going to start again. The second time he gets to start against them, it was Jameer's start, but he had fell ill a little bit, so it's a little hot. So Jameer's going to start, but we're going to start Jackson Earl, and Jameer's going to play short and see how he feels, but he wants to get on the mound too. So we're going to roll over his start right now and make sure he's feeling good and healthy, and we get him in there. But we also have Danner and Engel and White who want to do it, so we might do a repeat performance of Monday. I'm not sure yet going into the weekend.
And finally, you're facing Funkstown again, like you did earlier this week. What has been the focus for you for this game coming up for them tonight?
Well, they're a good team. I mean, we were lucky to get the upper hand on them. I think they match up with us well. They throw the ball well. I mean, they maybe give away one too many free bases in that game. I think that's what cost them. Their pitcher there had a lot of velo and got himself in trouble with a little bit of walks, and we capitalized on that. And Loper came in, got a big hit for insurance there in the end, and our pitchers were just dominant for the first game of the year. So we're going to have to do the same thing today. We're going to have to not let them score a lot of runs. I don't think they're going to give up a lot of runs.
All right. Coach, thanks for the time. Good luck tonight.
All right, thank you.
Thanks to Coach Tobin for the time. And with that, we had the national anthem during the interview there, so they're starting things up. Top of the first inning. Here as it's 6:29. Maybe it'll be 6:30 on the dot when we get our first pitch, which will be brought to you by the Mary's Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or call them at 304-263-4343. Starting battery, as you see on TV 10, out on the mound is Jackson Earl, pitching to Cole Smith behind the plate. On the other side for Funkstown, they'll start with Cruz Jackson on the mound, throwing to Ryan Darr. Your starting batteries are brought to you by Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Now let's get you the starting lineups. Funkstown, post 211, is going to come up here first, top of the first. Their lineup goes like this. It's Eli Bowman in center field, batting first. And it's Cam Face, second baseman. Derek Klein in the 3 spot in right field. Cam Mertz in the cleanup spot, first baseman today. Pitcher, Cruz Jackson in the 5 spot. That is Jackson Thiessen, batting 6th at shortstop. Third baseman, Colt Tucker, bats 7th. Ryan Thompson in left field will be in the 8 spot. And Ryan Darr, the catcher, will round things out. On the post 14 side, it's going to be Trace Huff leading off at second base. Liam Healy in right field. Then Braden Edwards at first base in the 3 spot. The cleanup hitter, Braden Oviedo at third base. Jameer Brown at shortstop, hitting 5th. And it's Christian Alter in left. Cole Smith at catcher, 6 and 7. Brett Pedersen, the DH, hits 8th. And Sam Hefner in center field will hit in the 9 spot. Floor Pools is our sponsor for starting lineups. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. And here comes our first pitch at 6:31. We'll get a strike called on the outside corner. Jackson Earl gets a strike to start off here against Eli Bowman. And he'll follow that out off with a fastball that's a little further outside. Makes it 1-1. Wind up in the pitch on the 1-1 is going to be hit on a line out in the right field, and it's going to drop in front of the right fielder, Liam Healy, for a single that's going to turn into a double. An aggressive turn for Eli Bowman using his speed. Start off with an extra base hit. So a quick start for Funkstown, which we saw a little bit of that on Monday on both sides. It didn't always turn into runs. It wasn't until the second inning that post 14, the away team for Monday's game in the top of the inning was able to put up 3 runs and then add on a 4th in the next inning. We're going to get a bunt attempt by Cam Face to start off the at-bat. He's going to miss and go down 0-1 in the count. Face playing second base, number 12. Number 2, Eli Bowman, takes his lead off of second base. Earl gives a look back to Bowman, now to the plate. Strike 2 is called. The defense behind Earl for the Hornets in the infield, third base to first base, it's Oviedo, Brown, Huff, and Edwards. And then in the outfield, it's Alter, Hefner, and Healy from left to right. Cole Smith behind the plate. 0-2. Going to be fouled back. It's been a busy week for Post 14. Getting a win over Funkstown on Monday. Getting a win over Frederick Post 11 on Tuesday. And then another one over Potomac Valley Post 64 last night. Fourth game in 4 days for the Hornets. But starting off 3-0. Here's going to be a ground ball hit just barely foul over towards first base. Edwards corrals it in foul territory. In the 13-1 victory last night for Post 14, they got a lot of production out of a lot of their lineup, especially at the top. Liam Healy had 3 RBIs. Braden Edwards had 2 in the 2 and 3 spots. Next pitch is going to be fouled straight back. Keep it at 0-2. Brett Pedersen got himself 2 hits, 1 RBI. And Alex Danner would come in his spot in the order and get an RBI as well. Michael Poltar had 2. Jackson Earl had himself 1. Sam Hefner had 1. 11 RBIs out of their 13 runs. 0-2. Breaking ball is going to stay a little too high and outside. Make it 1-2. Jet Gross also gave the Hornets 6 innings. Only gave up 3 hits and 1 walk. 1 run. Struck out 5. Before Christian Alter came in for the last inning of work. Gave up only 1 hit. Struck out 2. 1-2. Fastball a little low. Maybe a little inside. 2-2. Top of the first innings brought to you by Brown Funeral Homes and Cremations. Robert Fields and Sons, proudly serving our area since 1880. And the 2-2 is also going to be a little inside. Ducking out of the way of it, being pushed back off the plate. His face. Royal looks in on the full count. And from the stretch, pitch, fastball blows it by him for a strikeout. Sending one down here in the top of the first. Leaving that runner stranded on second for now. Derek Klein will try to move that runner at least up 1 base or drive him in. We'll take a look back at Monday's game between these two sides. 6-3 win for Post 14. It's the first pitch to Klein. Fastball. Klein checks his swing, but it's a strike. Post 14, like I said, 3 runs in the second, 1 in the third. Funkstown answered back with 4 in the bottom of the fourth. 2 in the bottom of the fourth. Then 1 in the sixth to make it 4-3. But then Bradley Loper with a 2 RBI hit for some insurance. Sealed things for Post 14. Next pitch is low, makes it 1-1. Post 14, white jerseys here today. White pants, white hat with blue trim across the chest. White lettering on the Hornets, red lettering on the numbering. 1-1, high for ball 2. Funkstown, looks like gray pants with what you could call maroon or a dark red jersey. White outlining on their red numbers and red lettering. Black hats. Next pitch. We hit on the ground over to second base. Huff will bring it in, throw it to first for the second out. 2 down. The runner moves to third base. Productive at bat for Klein, but no sacrifice opportunity now for the runner at third. Brings up Cam Mertz. Mertz on Monday was 0 for 2, but drew 2 walks. Got some pitching in himself also. Mertz struck out once. First pitch here is going to be outside for ball one. Mertz also got up on the mound on Monday, pitched the last 2 innings, gave up those 2 runs to Loper, walked 3, struck out 1. Loper, that was the only hit he gave up. This is going to be hit in the air over towards right field, and it's brought in by Healy to end the inning. A run gets to third base, but it stays there. Post 14 keeps post 211 with a 0 up on the board. We'll take a 60-second break. Be back with the bottom of the first. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Bottom of the first here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10 is brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the Tri-State? Call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-250-3551 or visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. We'll see Cruz Jackson take the mound. Start off this game for Funkstown post 211. He'll deal with the top of the order here in the bottom of the first for the post 14 Hornets. We saw a lot of pitchers, 5 to be exact, for post 211 on Monday. Cruz Jackson was not one of them. We saw Hudson Walls go an inning and a third, Ian Kelly go an inning and 2/3, Nolan Rayleigh go 1 inning, Sean Saylor go 1 inning, and Cam Mertz go 2. This next pitch is low for ball 1. Their first pitch, I should say, to Trace Huff. The top of the order here for post 14. Followed up with a strike on the outside corner taken. Huff on Monday was 0 for 3, but got himself a sacrifice RBI. Next pitch also outside for ball 2. Yesterday's 13-1 win for the Hornets. Huff 2 for 3, drew 2 walks. And the next pitch also outside, 3 straight out there, make it a 3-1 count. Huff ready, receives the 3-1, and he'll take it for strike 2. So far on the year, Trace Huff, 2 for 6 in 10 plate appearances. The 3-2 is outside for ball 4. Huff will draw his 4th walk in 4 games. Leadoff base runner to start things out for post 14. That'll bring up Liam Healy. Healy so far on the season, of the starters, the regular starters, has the highest batting average so far for the Hornets, as he'll take the first pitch for a ball. 545, which in 11 plate appearances means 6 hits. The 1-0's taken for strike 1. Defense for post 211, Colt Tucker, Jackson Thiessen, Cam Face, and Cam Mertz from third base to first base. Ryan Thompson, Eli Bowman, Derek Klein from left field to right field. Runner goes, strike 2 taken, throw down, not in time. Looked like the throw was in time, But the tag must have missed. They're going to say Huff's safe down there at second base. I was waiting for the out call. It never came. Counts 1-2 after the strike taken on the stolen base for Trace Huff. Jackson with the throw. It's going to be hit and into left field, down in front of Ryan Thompson for a base hit. It took a second to see if it was going to get down, so Huff is just going to advance to third base and put runners in the corners with no outs here in the bottom of the first. One hit, one walk. Start things out for Cruz Jackson on the mound. That'll bring up Braden Edwards. Edwards already a pretty successful season. 9 at-bats. He's had 4 hits. 3 of them doubles. Driven in 5 RBIs, which so far is the team lead. He's got a chance for 2 more. 3 if he can hit it over the wall, as he's going to swing and miss chasing a breaking ball in the first pitch. He's walked 3 times as well so far this year. 0 strikeouts as of yet. So this one's going to be hit foul the other way into the left field stands towards the batting cages. 0-2 count to him as Huff leads off of third. Haley leads off of first. Next pitch. Strike 3 called. There is the first strikeout of the year so far for Braden Edwards. He's going to go down looking. I think Edwards might have thought that came in low, but that's going to be strike 3. First out of the inning. It's going to bring in Braden Oviedo to the plate. Oviedo will look at the first pitch for ball 1. Oviedo so far 3 hits through the first 3 games. 7 at-bats. Next pitch is going to even things up. 1-1. Taken 4 walks already as Oviedo through 3 games. He's been hit by pitch once as well. So only 7 official plate appearances. 1-1. Runner's going to go. No throw down. Catcher's indifference. Keeping the runner at bay at third. It's going to be a 2-1 count. And now runners at second and third. Healy advances. Big RBI opportunity here in the first inning for post 14. This is going to be outside and low and off of the glove of Dar, but stays close enough that he can go get it. Huff has to stay at third. Step back in. 3-1 count to Oviedo as Jameer Brown awaits on deck. Here's the pitch. Oviedo's going to pop it up. Looks like it's going to stay in fair territory. Pitcher underneath of it. And Jackson makes the play for out number 2. Looks like Oviedo just got underneath of the ball just a little bit. Really wanted that pitch. Tried to send it a long way. Ended up doing quite the opposite and keeping it in the infield. And now Jameer Brown comes up. Those runners still stuck at second and third. And now 2 outs as Cruz Jackson has gotten 2 critical outs in a row here. Brown is going to look at the first pitch on the inside part of the plate for strike 1. Trip Tobin said that Jameer likely would have started today's game, but he's feeling a little under the weather. So this next pitch is going to bounce off the glove of the catcher again, inside ball 1. Tobin said Jameer feeling well enough to play, but didn't want to come out here and give him a regular start with the heat and try to make him go up there and throw a bunch of pitches. He might see the mound in relief later. 1-1 is going to come in and hit Jameer Brown right between the shoulder blades and put him on first base. I'm sure if he's already feeling under the weather, that's going to not going to make you feel much better, but he took it like a champ, it looks like. Jogs down to first, and that's going to load the bases with 2 outs for Christian Alter. We've seen Alter already come through here against Funkstown early in the season. Alter had himself an RBI against Funkstown on Monday. First pitch is fouled back. Alter opening things up early. A play that made it 2-0 in that second inning after a fielder's choice put the first run up on the board for post 14. Alter's going to foul off the next pitch, make it 0-2. Cruz Jackson with an opportunity to get out of this jam with the bases loaded after the 2 lead runners got on base with no outs. Got into scoring position with no outs. The 0-2. Alter's going to hit it in the air on a line, but it looks like it's right at the right fielder who goes to a knee, Derek Klein, as he makes the play, and that will retire the side. So 3 runners left on for post 14. Keeps us at a scoreless game through 1 full inning. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with the top of the second. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
We move to the second inning. Top of the second is brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com. We play hardball. Still no score after 1 full inning. Post 14 leaves the bases loaded. Post 211 left a runner on third themselves at the top of the first. So we'll see what gives here in the second. See if these pitchers can avoid letting those runners get there or if the offenses can finally drive them in. We're going to get pitcher versus pitcher to start. First pitch is fouled over towards the Funkstown dugout on the first base side. Cruz Jackson, number 8, stepping in against number 8 on the other side, Jackson Earl. Next pitch is going to be hit on the ground, kind of jammed Jackson maybe a little bit. Easy play for Huff to throw to first to Edwards for out number 1. It's 1 down here in the inning, brings up shortstop. We had pitcher versus pitcher. Now we have Jackson versus Jackson. Jackson Thiessen. Strike 1 into Jackson with no T against Jackson up on the mound. And the next pitch will be fouled off. A quick 0-2 start to this at-bat. Thiessen was 0 for 2 with an RBI and a walk. Struck out once on Monday. The 0-2 is outside for ball 1. Next pitch, Earl throws this one, and it's another foul ball back into the net. Colt Tucker is on deck, who played right field on Monday. Plays third base today. And there's another one taken, 2-2. Thiessen played third base on Monday. There's a windup and the 2-2 from Earl. It's going to be low and outside. Run the count full. .25 pitches already from Earl. There's going to be another ground ball and another play for Trace Huff. It's going to be probably his hardest one of the day as he has to roam to his left a little bit, throwing the run, but still makes the play for out number 2. That brings up Tucker. Colt Tucker couldn't get a hit on Monday. See if he can fare any better today. It's Jackson Earl, who had a hard time, or I should say the Funkstown lineup had a hard time against him on Monday. Strike 1 comes in. Earl pitched 2 full innings, only gave up 1 hit, struck out 3. Didn't walk any. 0-1. Can't quite catch the corner this time, 1-1. On Monday, Earl was followed up by 2 innings of Alex Danner, who gave up 2 runs, only 1 earned. Then it was a scoreless inning from Jameer Brown, as the 1-1 is chopped foul straight back. Wyatt McClintock came in for an inning, gave up 1 run. Then Jet Gross closed it out, giving up 3 walks, but then not letting any of them come home. We'll see what we get today from post 14. Looks like we already got some action in the bullpen. From here, we can't tell who it is. Here's the pitch. It's going to be hit in the air by Tucker into center field. And jogging over to his left and making the catch is Sam Hefner to retire the side. So nothing doing that time around. Jackson Earl settles in a bit. Clean second inning will send us to the bottom of the second. Still scoreless here from P.O. Faulkner Park. After the 60-second break, you'll get the bottom of the second. See if the Hornets of Post 14 can get any runs up on the board. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Who is Congress's big, beautiful bill really for? Because it's not West Virginians. This bill makes the biggest cuts to food assistance in history, slashing help for working families, taking school meals from kids, and hiking grocery prices, and then dumps the cost onto state lawmakers and food pantries. It's a handout to the wealthy, paid for by West Virginians. Senator Capito and Senator Justice, will you stand with West Virginians or wealthy special interests? Paid for by West Virginia Citizen Action Education Fund.
Berkeley Post 14 baseball is back. Catch every Hornets home game this season and the Legion Area Tournament right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Pavanelli rounds third, coming home to score. The throw on the money. The tag not in time. Pavanelli safe, and Berkeley Post 14 walks it off in the bottom of the 8th. Landon Sifford is the hero for the Hornets.
Your home of Berkeley Post 14 baseball is right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Move to the bottom of the second, which is brought to you by the Berkeley County Health Department. Prevent, Promote, Protect, offering public, clinical, and environmental services at 122 Waverly Court in Martinsburg. No score yet through an inning and a half. Post 14 loaded the bases in the first, but wasn't able to drive any of them in. Runners got to second and third with no outs, and Cruz Jackson was able to put down 3 outs, as first pitch of the inning will be a swing and a miss for strike 1 from Cole Smith. 7, 8, and 9 in the order are due up in the second inning. Next pitch comes in high, ball 1. Smith, Pedersen, and Hefner, the bottom third of the order for post 14. And this pitch is going to be hit on a line and sliding and making the play, as it stayed in the air long enough, is Ryan Thompson for the first out. It's a play there from Thompson, who I'll have to go back and check Monday here. Don't think that we heard that name at all on Monday. But he's out in left field, makes a nice play. We did. We got one, actually, an RBI and a pinch hitting role for Ryan Thompson. So he did play a little bit on Monday. As first pitch into Brett Pedersen will be outside for a ball. It's a sacrifice RBI on Monday for Thompson. As the next pitch will also be out of the zone for ball 2. The bottom of the 6th sacrifice fly that Thompson was able to make it 4-3. Cut the lead to 1, but they could never quite get there. 3-0 count now as another pitch comes in out of the zone. Jackson readies and throws. Gets across the strike. Jackson pitching out of the stretch even with no runners on. Just his natural pitching motion. He'll come back with it on the 3-1 count. Check swing. It's going to be too high. It's ball 4. Pedersen will go down to first base. 2 walks and a hit by pitch already for Jackson. So you post 14 can turn this base runner into a run. Brings up Sam Hefner in the 9 spot. He's going to take the first pitch out of the zone, outside. Hefner so far this year, 7 plate appearances, 5 official at-bats. He's 2 for 5. 1 single, 1 double. He scored twice. Drawn himself 2 walks. This pitch is going to hit the corner for strike 1. Hefner, one of 4 post-14 Hornets with multiple walks so far this year. He's going to swing at this 1-1 pitch and miss it, though, for strike 2. As you might imagine, Braden Oviedo so far leads the team in walks with 4. It's Trace Huff and Braden Edwards with 3 each. And then Hefner with 2. And everyone else has 1 or less. 1-2 count. High and inside fastball. Evens it up at 2 apiece. Jackson to the plate again. Here's maybe another foul ball straight back. Would have gone over the press box if not for the net. But it bounces back to the catcher, Dar. He'll give it to the umpire. We stay at a 2-2 count. Quick time was called. Now back into the box. Hefner going to hit this one on the ground, but just foul over towards Trip Tobin at the third base coach's box. Top of the order comes back up for the Hornets after this at-bat, as long as Funkstown isn't able to convert this into a double play. And just barely going to get by the second baseman is this ground ball. Face into right field. And if they weren't at double play depth, Face might have been there to make that play. So instead, that's a single for Hefner. Second hit of the day for the Hornets. And it puts, once again, multiple runners on base. Less than 2 outs. This time it's the top of the order that comes up with the opportunity to do something with it. First pitch to Huff is going to be on the outside black for a strike. Huff drew a walk, the lead off the bottom of the first. Stole a base, got himself to third eventually. Next pitch is going to be fouled away over towards left field. Over towards the indoor hitting cage. Huff steps back into the box, 0-2 count. And this fastball is going to be at head level. Middle of the plate, but too high. Ball one. Jackson gives a look back to second. And the pitch. Breaking ball is not going to break low enough. It's another one high. 2-2. Huff steps back in. Ready's his open stance. Crouches down. 2-2. Also going to be out of the zone. Low this time and outside. 3-2 count. Huff steps back in with the Air Jordan 1 Chicago cleats on here. Full count is going to be a fastball that doesn't come across the plate. It's going to be a walk that, again, loads the bases. And again, less than 2 outs. Liam Healy comes up. He singled into left field last inning. Another chance for the Hornets. First pitch, strike one. Going to be taken on the outer half. Jackson to the plate. Fastball is going to be pushed outside. Even the count at 1-1. Corners in for the infield of Funkstown. 1-1 pitch on the ground and down the left field line, just past Colt Tucker. 1 is going to score, 2 is going to be sent home, and sliding across the plate in plenty of time as it's cut off at third base. 2 RBI single, gets to second base on the double. Liam Healy puts Post 14 up 2-0 here in the second. Not much you can do about that as a third baseman, especially when you're playing in. Maybe if he's further back at normal depth, he has at least a bit of a chance to get the glove on it and save maybe the second run from scoring. But I think that was going to drive in that runner from third no matter what. Braden Edwards is going to take a big swing at the first pitch and hit it foul out of play. So 3 hits now for the Hornets. They can say they've converted 2 runs across the plate. Braden Edwards struck out looking first time around. He's swinging again at this one. It's going to go into deep left field and jumping up and almost making the play. It pops out of the glove of the left fielder Thompson. Both runs barely going to score as the throw to the plate is not in time to get Liam Healy, just barely making it past the tag of the catcher. And that was almost a great snow cone catch by Ryan Thompson. But it looked like as he hit the ground, that might have been when it popped out of his glove, which, NFL rules got to control it through the entire process of the catch. Didn't come through. It rolled back towards the wall, and Eli Bowman was there to corral it. But 2 more runs, and suddenly, just like on Monday when we saw a 3-run second inning from Post 14, they have a 4-run second inning here tonight. And I think you got to chalk that one up as a hit. 2 RBIs for Braden Edwards. It looks like Jackson is going to stay out here as we have a mound visit ongoing and just now wrapping up. See at the very least if Cruz can get out of the inning. We do have action in the Funkstown bullpen. 2 guys warming up. Looks like maybe one that's already warmed up and was ready to come in. And still is when he's needed. So let's reset. It's 4-0 now, post 14. 1 out in the bottom of the second. Braden Edwards, who just drove in 2, stands at second base. And Braden Oviedo, who popped up in his first at-bat, is going to do the same. Able to get it a little further, but still not quite the second base, as Cam Face is going to be able to take a few steps over to the right and bring it in. And that's the second out of the inning. So Edwards will stay at second. And get the 3 former Martinsburg teammates here crossing paths as Edwards stays at second. The Washington Patriot now. Braden Oviedo, the Jefferson Cougar, walks back to the dugout, and now still a Martinsburg Bulldog. Jameer Brown steps into the plate here with 2 outs. Swing and a miss at the first pitch for a strike. Brown was hit by a pitch in the first. That loaded the bases before the third out of the inning on the next at-bat. Next pitch is going to be hit foul. 0-2 count. So Jackson has been able to get through this part of the order pretty successfully. Oviedo, at the very least. He's gotten to pop up twice. And he's not going to do it this time. Here's a ground ball over to shortstop. It's lightly hit. Throw on the ground. Can't be picked at first by Cam Mertz. And Jameer Brown heads up base running, is going to go to second base. And Edwards is going to come all the way around to score. It was, off the bat, looked like it was going to get into left field, into the gap right there between shortstop and third. But then it died a little bit, and Jackson Thiessen was able to bring it in, but then the throw over to first bounces. Cam Mertz can't bring it in. So that's going to make it 5-0 post 14. Runner stays at second base. Now it's Jameer Brown. First pitch by Christian Alter is going to be grounded softly to second base. Face makes the throw to first, and that'll be the third out. But it's now 5-0 post 14. All those runs coming in this half inning. 2 batters in a row, Liam Healy and Braden Edwards, driving in 2 RBIs. And then that error to bring in a 5th one. We'll take a 60-second break. When we come back, we'll see Jackson Earl go back to the mound, now with a 5-0 lead. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers, or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
At the Berkeley County Health Department, our motto is prevent, promote, protect. Since 1935, our mission has been to provide clinical and environmental services to protect the health of the general public. We're committed to building public health in our community by offering a wide range of services, including blood pressure screening, breast and cervical screening, family planning, counseling, lab testing, and more. We perform health inspections to make sure the restaurants you visit are clean, and we prepare and coordinate plans to respond to all hazards. The Berkeley County Health Department, 122 Waverly Court, Martinsburg.
Moving to the top of the third, brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, leading healthcare here and everywhere. It's now a 5-0 lead for post 14. We were scoreless last time the Hornets went out into the field for defense. A big inning for the Hornets. Gives them a sizable lead for their pitching to work with. Jackson Earl come out for a third inning of work. First pitch is going to be fouled over towards the first base dugout. Hits off of the dugout. That's Ryan Thompson, the left fielder, who we saw make a really nice sliding play for the first out of the second inning, bottom of the second. Then couldn't quite make a miraculous snow cone catch that would have prevented, at the very least, one run from coming in. Ended up being two that came across, making it 4-0 there in the last half inning. The 0-1 is outside of the zone for ball one. Next pitch, jammed. Soft grounder over to shortstop. Jameer Brown makes the throw. First out. Eight batters faced, only one hit allowed so far by Earl. It was the very first batter. Leadoff double by Eli Bowman. Since then, 7 in a row. All but one have made contact. It's actually been 6 in a row that have been out by a hit out into the field. It's the first pitcher, Ryan Darr, is a ball. And the next pitch is a foul ball off of himself. The last 6 batters have gone down, either grounding out or flying out. They've been making the infielders work today. There have been 3 putouts from second baseman Trace Huff. 1-1 is low and inside, ball 2. Now the big windup from Earl. And the pitch is high for ball 3. They'll check down to first base, see if he went. He didn't. 3-1 to Darr as Bowman awaits in the on-deck circle. And here's one that runs inside and would have been ball 4 anyway, but I think it clipped Darr a little bit. So there's a base runner. First one since the very first batter of the game. And Bowman, who had that hit, comes up. Opportunity that if he hits the same ball in the same place, it'll be up to the speed of Darr whether or not they drive in a run. But it could be pretty close. Earl's first pitch is going to run in, and they're going to say it clipped him just barely on the elbow. You can see Bowman gave a look back to the home plate umpire, kind of stuck his elbow out, looked him in the eyes as to say, it got me. And the home plate umpire agreed he's going to send him down. So 2 straight hit by pitches by Earl. Puts runners on first and second with just 1 out. First pitch to face is taken for a strike. Earl was able to strand a runner on third base in the first inning. Didn't have to deal with a base runner in the second. Earl from the stretch, the 0-1. It's going to be hit, foul, and out of play to left field. Face will step back in, 0-2. Earl gives a look back to second base. Now the pitch. It's going to be fouled right back again. So the count will stay at 0-2. Again, 5-0 is our score here in the top of the third from P.O. Faulkner Park. Post 14 with the lead over post 211 of Funkstown. Face was 1 for 4. Struck out 3 times on Monday. He's going to take this next pitch outside for a ball. 1-2. Face was the only member of Post 211 to strike out multiple times on Monday. He's going to hook this one. Hit it a long way, but clearly out of play and foul. Stays 1-2. And the pitch from Earl. And it's going to be fouled back again, as you can probably hear exactly where it went foul. About a foot or two away from our crowd mic down there. Keeps count at 1-2. Faces working hard here at the plate to avoid the out. He struck out 3 times on Monday against the Hornets and struck out in his first at-bat here today. He's trying to prevent that from happening another time. 1-2. He's not going to be able to prevent it. Swing and a miss. As that breaking ball stays high up in the zone, and he can't get to it. So Face having some struggles against Post 14. That'll make it 2 outs. Chance for Earl to strand another runner in scoring position. Derek Klein will perhaps have something to say about that. He grounded out to second base first time around. Klein's going to take the first pitch for a strike. Klein was 1 for 3 on Monday. DH'd. Today he's in right field. He's going to swing and miss at the second pitch. So Earl 1 strike away. Getting out of this with another scoreless inning. Oh, 2. It's going to be hit up in the air. Will it stay in play? Cole Smith underneath of it. Oh, can't quite come up with it. He was almost underneath of it. It's just one of those balls, I think, at that angle. It's hard to quite know, and if we look out, see if the flags are blowing around in any sort of way. Not much wind going on. I think it's just didn't quite get underneath that one. So it's still 0-2 though. It landed foul. But now a chance for Funkstown to take advantage when that could have been the third out. 0-2, low and outside. Ball 1. I'm sure as a pitcher, and that can be frustrating when you feel like you throw a pitch that could have been the third out when it's hitting the play. And even if it is a tough play, if your defense doesn't come up with it, you kind of, I think, mentally let yourself for 2 or 3 seconds think, oh, I might be done. And here's a ground ball. It's going to be hit over towards the Post 14 dugout. The at-bat continues. At the very least, Funkstown is making Jackson Earl work up on the mound. He's at 55 pitches through nearly 3 innings. From how Trip Tobin talked about this matchup, I wouldn't doubt that this is the last inning that we see from Earl. Still movement in the Post 14 bullpen. Here's one grounded right to Earl on a 1 hop. He's going to jog over to first, toss it underhand to Edwards, and that's out number 3. So Funkstown not able to get up on the board. Earl strands another runner in scoring position, and will move to the bottom of the third with Post 14 still with a 5-0 lead. And we'll take a 60-second break and see if they can add on to it. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
WVU Medicine is excited to announce the opening of our new ear, nose, and throat location in Hagerstown. Our trusted ear, nose, and throat specialists are expanding their expert care in the region. From sinus treatment to complex thyroid conditions, WVU Medicine Ear, Nose, and Throat is here to help you breathe easier and feel your best. WVU Medicine Ear, Nose, and Throat, Hagerstown, 13 Western Maryland Parkway, Suite 106. Now scheduling new patients at 304-262-9400.
This new Rockstar Rewards card really rocks. You get 3 times more points and other cool stuff. It can turn water into gas. Boom! You get 10 cents off a gallon for the first 30 days and 3 cents after that.
You have 1,000 points.
Out of the bag. It's like stealing candy from a baby. Bam! It's a piece of cake. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. They even give you a free gift on your birthday. Woohoo! And it turns water into wine.
No.
Get the new Rockstar Rewards card and get more stuff.
It's a no-brainer.
Bottom of the third inning, still 5-0. Post 14 over Post 211. The Berkeley Post 14 Hornets and the Post 211 squad out of Funkstown. The bottom of the third, brought to you by Rock's Local Markets with locations around the Panhandle. Fast, fresh, friendly Rock's. So for Post 14, they will come to the plate. First pitch here, still from Cruz Jackson, is going to be to Cole Smith. Swings and misses at it. Jackson stays on the mound despite giving up 5 runs in that last inning. Ball 1 inside to even the count. Smith, he led off that second inning with a fly out. That was the nice play in left field. Here's another one in left field. It's going to be harder to get to, though, and that's in the gap. That's going to get all the way to the wall. Bowman loses his hat along the way. He's going to throw it in, but it's an easy stand-up double for Cole Smith. Make that the 5th hit of the day for Post 14. And that's 55 pitches. I believe 56. 55. Got out ahead of game changer there. 55 for Cruz Jackson. That'll bring up Brett Pedersen, who drew a walk and was the first run to score for Post 14 in the last inning. He'll take ball 1 to start. Jackson so far 2 innings has given up 5 runs, 4 earned on 6 hits and 3 walks, and has struck out 1. Here's a swinging strike 1. Looks like we have a courtesy runner out at second base for the catcher. I want to say that's Wyatt McClintock, number 9, swing and a miss at strike 2. And that is McClintock out at second now. One, 2 is the count to Pedersen. He's going to hit this one pretty deep into right center field. Going back is Bowman. He's going to be able to make the catch, but looks like it's going to be deep enough for McClintock to move to third, and he is. So call it a sacrifice fly. Gets him over to third base, does Brett Pedersen for the courtesy runner. McClintock brings up Sam Hefner with 1 out here in the 9 spot. And he was a second leadoff of sorts here in the second inning. He got himself a single. He's going to lay down a bunt, and he's going to be going for the hit, and he's going to get it. Perfectly placed by Sam Hefner for the 6th hit of the day for Post 14. Hefner's 2 for 2 now. Bunt single puts runners on the corners. And I believe we're at a pretty much identical situation for Trace Huff as his last at bat. Because in that second inning, Hefner came up with a runner on second, like he just did. Got himself a single that only advanced the runner to third. And that put runners on the corners with 1 out for Trace Huff, and that's the exact situation here. Coach is going to go to the mound for Funkstown again. And it doesn't look like they're going to take the ball from Cruz Jackson, at least not immediately. He's holding on to it. So it looks like they're just going to talk it out with the infield here, talk things out with the pitcher. And Jackson will have an opportunity to try to get out of this inning. Yep, a fist bump with Jackson, and everybody will jog back to their positions. Huff, so far, drawn a walk in both his at-bats. This is where things fell apart last inning. Like I said, identical situation for Huff as last inning, where the walk that he drew loaded the bases. And then Liam Healy and Braden Edwards would do some work from there. Here's a squeeze bunt. Well, actually, runner's on the corner, so we don't need the runner from third to go. But the throw to first is wide. That's going to let the run score. They're going to send the runner from first home as well. The throw is offline. They're going to try to throw it to third. That one's offline as well, but it's backed up at the very least, to where Huff stays only at third, but 2 runs score, and Post 14's up 7-0. So the bunts have done work for Post 14 here. I think you have to call that an E5. The throw was offline. 7-0, runner on third. And here's another bunt. They're making Funkstown prove they can do it. Throw to first. This one is going to be made, but nice base running by Trace Huff as he runs home on the throw. And that'll give Post 14 8 runs, 3 in the inning. That was Liam Healy laying that one down. Sack, bunt, RBI. So, the smoke clears. Base is empty again with 2 outs, but now it's 8-0 Hornets. Strike one taken by Edwards. Next pitch out of the zone makes it 1-1. Next pitch also can't hit the zone, makes it 2-1. Edwards is going to put a ride on this one, but in the deep left field, Ryan Thompson backs up and makes the catch for the third out. So we'll go to the 4th inning, and now the lead for Post 14 is 8-0 over Funkstown, Post 211. Big time lead for them. We'll see who comes to the mound for Post 14, if it's still Jackson Earl or, well, as they walk out, it looks like Alex Danner will take over with 8 runs of run support to work with. We'll take a 60-second break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Good morning. This is your wake-up call. It's a bright, sunshiny day here in the Eastern Panhandle.
Catch the excitement of Little League Baseball this summer on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
And he takes a pitch for strike 3. Trenton Smedick closes it out.
The fun begins with the Area 1 tournament June 19th through the 23rd and continues with the District 6 tournament July 3rd and 4th. And it's all right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Top of the 4th inning is brought to you by Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. As we go to the top of the 4th, it's now 8-0 Post 14. Berkeley Post 14 Hornets with this big lead over Funkstown Post 211. After adding on 3 insurance runs in that bottom of the 3rd, it looks like we're going to get some changes out in the field. We've got a change up on the mound for post 14 as Alex Danner takes over after 3 innings of really good work from Jackson Earl. Earl only gave up 1 hit and 1 walk. Gave up no runs, struck out 3 on 56 pitches. Faced 12 batters. We'll see Alex Danner, which is the same order that Post 14 went with on Monday in the game against Funkstown. It was 2 innings of scoreless work from Earl before Alex Danner came in for 2 innings where he gave up 2 runs on 2 hits and 1 walk. Only 1 earned run and struck out 3. But slightly different situation here. Danner had 3 and 4 run lead to work with. Now it's an 8 run lead to work with here in the 4th. First pitch to Cam Mertz is going to be fouled away. The 0-1 just a bit outside. Going to make it 1-1. Cam Mertz 0 for 1, flew out to right field. His only at bat so far. Swing and a miss at the 1-1. For strike 2, it's Mertz, Jackson, and Thiessen due up in this inning, who are all 0 for 1 so far. Danner's 1-2, fastball. Bounces right in front of the catcher. It looks like it's Michael Poltar behind the plate now for post 14. We'll look around for any other changes that may have taken place. 2-2 pitch, fastball is outside. Still Healy out and right. I believe Jackson Earl has moved to center. And the full count pitch is going to be taken on the black for strike 3. Alex Danner starting strong with a strikeout looking. Looks like they might have pushed Brett Pedersen from DH to left field. And here's the first pitch to Cruz Jackson. It's going to be high for ball 1. And the next pitch is going to be hit 2 hops over to second base, and it's going to take a weird bounce there. Tough play for Tracehoff to try to make. Going to bounce into the chest and leave a runner on first base for Funkstown. It was a bit of a tough hop, but I think it's a play you got to make. So, in my book, it'll go down as an error. Strike 1 to start the at-bat to Thiessen. Very upset about the call is somebody on the Funkstown side. I think that's the Funkstown manager. Giving a little bit of a warning here from our home plate umpire. 0-1 is going to come inside and bounce off the glove of Poltar. It's going to let the second baseman advance, or the first base runner advance to second. Thiessen grounded out to second base last time up. Cruz Jackson had done the same, hit it around the same spot, but different kind of bounce for Huff to try to handle. Gives post 211 another chance. Runner in scoring position. This is going to be hit in the air, in play. It's going to be hit shallow right field, just barely roaming into the grass. Still the turfed grass area for Huff. He makes the play, redeeming himself a little bit for the second out. It's going to bring up Colt Tucker, who flew out to center field to end the second inning, the top of the second. He will try to avoid doing the same for the top of the 4th. First pitch from Danner. It's going to be hit. And this one gets past Huff and bounces off the glove of the right fielder. No runner coming home as it got in there quick enough. And as I see the change over at first base, that's Jet Gross who cut that one off, replacing Braden Edwards. And now that I say that, that may be Braden Edwards that moved over to left field. And that's going to bring Trip Tobin out to the mound. Have a talk with his pitcher, and that'll give us a chance to open up our game changer here, see if we've missed any other defensive changes. It is, in fact, Rhett Pedersen out in left, so looks like Braden Edwards has either moved out of the game into the DH role. We'll see. Christian Alter has been replaced out in left. Wyatt McClintock now at shortstop. Oviedo still at third. Trace Huff at second. Jet Gross is at first. Poltar behind the plate. And from left to right in the outfield, Pedersen, Hefner, Healy. So a single for Colt Tucker puts runners on the corners with 2 outs, and Ryan Thompson comes up. He's going to take strike 1. Still some movement over in Post 14's dugout, or excuse me, their bullpen. This is going to be hit in the air, though. And Trace Huff again going to roam into the shallowest of the outfield and make the play. And that will end the top of the 4th. Post 211, still no runs to show for as Alex Danner gets it done. And we'll see if Post 14 can keep adding on. 5 runs in the second, 3 runs in the third. See what they can do in the 4th. After the 60-second break, this is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
I love it when people ask me which of the Skinner brothers is younger. I love it when people ask me who's taller. I love it when people get us confused.
You do? Really?
No.
At least they're not confused about what the Skinners do.
If you're hurt in almost heaven, dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Who is Congress's big, beautiful bill really for? Because it's not West Virginians. This bill makes the biggest cuts to food assistance in history, slashing help for working families, taking school meals from kids, and hiking grocery prices, and then dumps the cost onto state lawmakers and food pantries. It's a handout to the wealthy, paid for by West Virginians. Senator Capito and Senator Justice, will you stand with West Virginians or wealthy special interests? Paid for by West Virginia Citizen Action Education Fund.
Bottom of the 4th inning is brought to you by Floor Pools. Make every day better with a hot tub or swimming pool. Floor Pools has locations in Martinsburg, Chambersburg, and Hagerstown. 8-0. Berkeley Post 14 over Funkstown 2-11. And it's middle of the order. 4, 5, and 6 for Post 14. Due up in this half inning. It'll be Oviedo, McClintock, and we'll see what the situation is for the 6th hole, as it was Christian Alter. And the DH Brett Pedersen was bumped over there, so maybe it's, we'll see if it's Alex Danner or perhaps Braden Edwards. We'll see what happens. Another pinch hitter, strike 2 to start here to Oviedo, 2 straight strikes. It's the new pitcher, Cam Face, who throws the 0-2, working fast his face. 1-2 count. As he stands on the left edge of the rubber for himself, and strike 3 called on the outside black. Good start for Face after Cruz Jackson struggled against this lineup. Official line at the end of the day for Cruz Jackson. 3 innings, gave up 8 runs, 5 earned on 8 hits and 3 walks. He's able to strike out one. There's Wyatt McClintock taking the first pitch inside for ball one. We saw one at bat for McClintock, two actually. And here's a base hit down the first base line, just barely, and he's going to turn and go for two. And it rolled slow enough that he's going to be in there pretty easily, sliding in just in case. One out double for post 14. They get another chance to add on to their lead. It's going to be Jet Gross coming up next here, our new first baseman, taking the spot of Christian Alter in the lineup. Jet Gross is at first base. And Gross is going to hit this one in the center field on a line. McClintock had to wait to see if it would get past him. And McClintock probably could have grabbed that one out of the air if he really wanted to. That'll put runners on the corners with one out. So quickly, things getting out of hand once again. Funkstown going to have to really rein things in if they want this game to even go the full 7. Poltar steps in. On Monday, he had 2 at-bats, walked once, struck out once. 0 for 2 officially. Strike one will come in, and Jet Gross will take second base on the catcher's indifference. Poltar has a chance with a base hit to get post 14 into double-digit runs for the second straight game. The 1-1 is going to break into the turf. Bounce. Face with the windup and the pitch. Going to be hit on the ground. Runner's going to come home. Throw is going to be made to first for the second out. Going to trade the run for the out and give post 14 a 9-0 lead while recording the second out. So G 5-3, but it's an RBI for Poltar. McClintock comes across. And there's a wild pitch. Goes to the backstop, but Gross is going to stay at third. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. One-0 count here to Pedersen. He's going to hit this one on the line, but it's right to Bowman for the third out. So that means that we will see post 14 in the bottom of the 5th. And we'll go to the top of the 5th for now. 9-0. Post 14 has the lead over Funkstown. We'll take a 60-second break and be back with more American Legion baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Whoa, what's all this? Robbie's Quack Attack at Floor Pools? Pick a duck and save up to 15% off your in-store purchase? That's wild! Now through June 21st, pick a duck and save up to 15% on chemicals, toys, and limited supplies to have a safe and enjoyable summer in your pool. That's right, a lucky duck can save big bucks now through June 21st. Robbie knows your cool summer headquarters is Floor Pools. They've got hot tubs starting at just $49 a month, pools from $100 a month, and saunas starting at $80 a month. Don't forget about cold plunges and endless pools too. And check this out. Floor Pools now offers plunge pools. These compact in-ground pools are perfect for smaller backyards, low maintenance, energy efficient, and ideal for cooling off, relaxing, or even fitness and hydrotherapy. Big style and small footprint. It's everything you want in a pool without taking over your yard. The pool experts at Floor Pools are here to help you all summer long. Floor Pools in Chambersburg, Hagerstown, and Martinsburg, where your summer oasis starts.
Top of the 5th inning, brought to you by CMA's Martinsburg and Winchester dealerships, proud to be the owners who just care more. It's a 9-0 lead for Post 14 over Funkstown Post 211. Brett Pedersen with that fly out to end that inning. Brings us here. Alex Danner stays on the mound for the Hornets. Let's see if he can keep Funkstown off the board for another inning here. Danner in that first inning of work. Couple base runners got on for Funkstown. One on an error, one base hit. The runner didn't have the opportunity to come all the way home and was stuck at third. Well, even 3 of these 4 innings, Funkstown has gotten a runner at least to second base, gotten a one to third base twice, and then you had the second inning where they went 3 up, 3 down. See if 5th time's the charm here for them. So we go to, again, the 9, 1, and 2 in the order. Ryan Darr will lead things off. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat. Danner's first pitch to him will come in high for ball 1. Next pitch, strike 1. Able to get over. Darr, Bowman, and Face. That's the 3 due up for Funkstown. The 1-1 will be ball 2. Just a little high and inside. The 2-1 will come in low. 18 pitches for Alex Danner. So far, so good for him. 1 inning, giving up 1 hit, struck out 1. He'll quickly step off the mound to wipe sweat away from his face, and now he'll come back to the plate. And the 3-1 is high for ball 4. A leadoff walk. That'll bring up the top of the order, Bowman. He's going to take the first pitch high and outside for a ball. Bowman, leadoff double on the very first at-bat of this game. Then was hit by a pitch in third. He's going to take the next pitch, hit it on a line to second base. Chance for a double play. Just barely not in time. Trace Huff, good throw back over, but Darr was not quite far enough off the bag. Did a good job of making sure that that ball was going to get down before he went anywhere. So it's just a line out for the first out. Brings up Cam Face. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's going to watch the first pitch go by outside for ball 1. The 1-0, foul tipped into the glove for strike 1. Next pitch, it's going to be outside again for ball 2. On deck is Klein. If they can continue the inning, past that, it gets to Mertz. Danner gives a nod into his catcher. This pitch is going to catch the zone for strike 2. I don't think Cam Face was happy with that call. That was a pivotal pitch to the at-bat there for that call. Could have been 3-1 count. Now it's 2-2. And the 2-2 will be a swing and a miss by Cam Face. So for the second time this week, Face with 3 strikeouts against Post 14. And that'll send him down with the second out, and Derek Klein will come up. 0 for 2. Klein was 1 for 3 as the DH on Monday, as we mentioned. Ball 1, low and outside as Poltar has to block it. Second strikeout for Alex Danner through 26 pitches, with this pitch here coming up. Second one of this at-bat being pitch number 28. This one's going to bounce, and this time it is going to get away from Poltar. It's going to let the runner, Dar, advance to second. And Post 14 trying to finish out these 4 games in 4 days on a 4-game win streak to start the season. 6-3 win against Funkstown on Monday. 5-2 against Frederick Post 11 on Tuesday. And there's one hit on the ground past Wyatt McClintock on one hop. Could have made that play, but instead it's going to go into left field, and Funkstown's going to get to score their first run of the game. Now that run got on a walk. That's going to be an earned run in that sense for Danner, but an error lets the inning continue and cuts Post 14's lead from 9-8. And Danner now going to bounce another one. There's been movement in the bullpen for Post 14 pretty much all game long here, as starter only went 3 innings. Danner here in his second inning of work. The 1-0 fastball will get across the zone for strike 1. Mertz fly out in inning number 1. Strikeout looking last inning in the 4th. Foul ball. Just barely low enough to hit the net instead of coming through the little slot here we have for the camera. 1-2 count. And this is going to be a base hit right up the middle, as it's hit right in the perfect spot where Huff and McClintock can't get to it. So the inning continues. Not many hits on the day for Post 211. I believe that's just their 3rd. We'll look at the official box score on Game Changer, see if perhaps there's any different calls that show a different result. First pitch in here to Cruz Jackson is a ball. And they have it, 3 hits for Funkstown, 2 errors by both teams. Post 14, 9 runs on 10 hits. Here's ball 2. Danner losing control here, it seems. At now 35 pitches. Jackson steps back in. He's going to look at strike 1. Jackson grounded out to second base in the 2nd inning and reached on an error in the 4th. And here's another one, base hit in between 1st and 2nd. They're going to send the runner home. Here's a throw to the plate. It's up the line. Tag just barely missed. Poltar tried to swing his arm around, and it looked like he just barely didn't make contact. So that's a 2nd run up on the board for Funkstown. There's a pretty good throw in by Healy. Just a little up the line, just far enough to where Poltar's tag attempt couldn't quite reach. So finally some offense coming through here for Funkstown. Strike 1 in to start the at-bat to Thiessen. He's going to hit the next one foul. Again, keeping Kyler high behind the camera on his toes. Makes an 0-2 count, though, quickly against Jackson Thiessen, who himself, like many of the Funkstown lineup, started 0 for 2. Breaking ball outside, couldn't get him to chase. 1-2 count. 40 pitches now for Danner. Third inning and 2/3, and here's a fastball. Pops off of the glove of Poltard, just barely doesn't get the call for strike 3. 2-2 count. Myself, I thought that one was going to get the call. But now we continue. 2-2. Here's a pitch. And he popped up in the infield. McClintock under it. Hat flies off, but makes the play. And that retires the side. So Funkstown gets 2 up on the board for themselves finally, making it 9-2. And that'll send us to the bottom of the 5th. Post 14's lead down to 7. See if they can get some of those back after this 1-minute break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
With a great selection comes great possibilities. And at CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg, the possibilities are endless. Shop our amazing selection of new vehicles like the Ram 1500. And right now, save on new Jeeps like the Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Plus, every Jeep purchase comes with our Jeep Wave program. So wherever your possibilities take you, you'll be connected. Shop CMA's CDJR of Martinsburg today. Owners just care more.
9-2. Berkeley Post 14 with a lead over Funkstown Post 211. We're going to see another call to the bullpen here for Funkstown. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Your total insurance solution located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. That'll be number 16, Nolan Rayleigh, on the mound for Funkstown. Saw him in 1 inning of work, I believe, on Monday. And the bullpen for Funkstown had a good bit of success on Monday. We'll go back and give you the exact numbers. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs for Rayleigh up on the mound. And the first pitch of the inning will be Sam Hefner fouling one away. Back over the press box. Bottom of the 5th brought to you by Trips Flooring. Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring needs. Call Trips Flooring at 304-229-7009 or online at tripsfloorsanding.com. It's 9-1-2 in the order. Sam Hefner is going to get things started with a ball in the gap. Going to get all the way to the wall. Hefner going to go for 3. They throw it into second base. How about that base running? And by the time they throw it from second over to the third, he slides in with a triple. Perfectly timed there for Hefner, as he was aggressive. The throw came directly to second base from the outfield. And pretty much as it was thrown, Hefner was making his turn to third. So already a quick opportunity for Post 14 to get back on the board here. Strike 1 into Trace Huff, who has reached base in all 3 of his at-bats, but has yet to record a hit. 2 walks and then reached on an error. He's Here's a foul ball. 0-2 is our count. Hefner takes his lead off of third. Infield in, all around for Funkstown. Here's the pitch from Rayleigh. It's going to be fouled away again. 0-2 still. Huff steps back in. Here's another 0-2. He's going to watch it low and inside for ball one. Healy awaits on deck. Rayleigh with the 1-2. We get a check swing. And looks like he somehow held back even though Huff kind of stumbled across the plate. Brings the count to 2-2. And here's that pitch. It's going to be hit over to the third base side. Just barely hooks foul. The official day for Cam Face. He pitches just the fourth inning. That one inning gives up 1 run. That being earned. On 2 hits, no walks, struck out 1. Rayleigh, check swing, strike 3, and Huff was going to come out of the box and then stopped. I think he wasn't really sure if it was a strike or not. He didn't run all the way down. The catcher jogs out and makes the tag for the first out. So 1 down for Rayleigh to try to avoid giving up a run here, and here's a pop-up. Looks like it's going to stay in the infield or just barely into the shallow outfield for Thiessen, the shortstop, to make the play. And that's a quick out number 2. Brings up Braden Edwards, who I think we can call the DH now as things have moved around. Started off at first base. Jet Gross's pitch is hitting in the spot of the left fielder, Christian Alter. Brett Pedersen, the original DH, is now out in left field. Ball 1 comes in to start the at-bat. Edwards, 2 RBIs in the second inning with a double that just barely hit off the glove of the left fielder. A 1-0 is going to be fouled away as he was taking a big swing at that one. Edwards is 1 for 3 overall. Struck out looking at the first. Flew out to left in the third. And here's a swinging strike 2. Edwards swinging for the fences here. Hasn't worked out on the last 2 swings, but we know that it could work out on any one of these swings. One, 2, high, pops off the glove, and here comes to the plate, Hefner sliding safe. So put double digits up on the board for post 14. They lead 10-2 again. Lead back up to 8 like it was after 3 innings. Before they added on a run in the 4th and then gave back 2 in the top of this inning in the 5th. Now a 2-2 count. Edwards going to hit another one foul and stay alive. Oviedo on deck. A tough day for him so far. He's 0 for 2. 2 pop-ups. See if he gets an opportunity to change that here in the 5th or if it's in the 6th. And there's swinging strike 3, so it'll be the 6th. Edwards goes down. 2 strikeouts in that inning for Nolan Rayleigh will send us to the 6th. Now 10-2 lead for Berkeley post 14. We'll get the top of the 6th after this 60-second break. West Virginia American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Not sure where to go or who to trust with your flooring project? And start with Trips Flooring, proudly serving the area for more than 25 years, specializing in floor sanding and refinishing, along with installation of new flooring, including hardwood, tile, vinyl, laminate, carpet, and the hottest trend in flooring, luxury vinyl, tile, and luxury vinyl plank. Are you on a budget? Check out their warehouse, cash and carry, or call 304-229-7009, or visit them online at tripsfloorsanding.com.
So what? So what? It's not going to be easy. It's going to be really hard. We're going to have to work at it every day, but I want to do that because I want you. I want you and me forever, every day. What do you want? What do you want? Come on, what do you want?
What do you want?
I want Panhandle dumpsters for the first month free. Use the promo code to get the first month free.
New pitcher out on the mound for post 14. Another small call to the bullpen. This time, Andrew Engel steps up on the mound for post 14. In a 10-2 game, 8-run lead for Engel to work with. So far this year, 2 innings pitched for Engel. He gave up no runs, 2 walks, no hits in those 2 innings of work so far. Go back and check and see if those 2 innings, any of those 2 innings, were against Funkstown on Monday. They weren't. Didn't think they were. Figured I had to double check. So, another opportunity here for Funkstown to see a different pitcher. And for post 14 to send out a pitcher that post 211 hasn't seen yet. We have to go up against 7, 8, and 9 in the order. And here's a pop-up on the first pitch. It's going to go out of play. Poltar took the mask off from behind the plate and jogged after it for a second, but it goes out of play. So 0-1 count to Colt Tucker, who was 1 for 2 with a single and a fly out. And he's going to put this one into play. Not foul this time. It's going to be hit into center. Sam Hefner ranges over and makes the catch. So 2 flyouts now to center field on this game for Colt Tucker. That'll bring up Ryan Thompson, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a fly out. 2 pitches gets the job done for the first out for Engel. First pitch to Thompson will be outside and bounce in front of Poltar. Ball 1. Top of the 6th is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. Here's another one that's hit in the play, high and just barely out of the infield. Just barely so. That Trace Huff is able to roam back again and on the edge of the infield to outfield green turf make the play. So once again, 2 pitches gets the job done. So 4 pitches, 2 outs for Engel. That'll bring up a pinch hitter for post 211 on a swinging strike 1. It's Micah Wilson. And he's going to hit this second pitch. Foul for strike 2, so that breaks the streak of 2 pitch at-bats, at the very least, for post 211. We saw Wilson for 1 at-bat on Monday, and it was a strikeout. I'm sure Andrew Engel would like to continue that streak. The 0-2 won't get it done. This will bounce back to the backstop. The lefty Wilson steps back in against the right-handed pitcher Engel. Breaking ball will break too far outside, or not break far enough inside. Makes a 2-2 count. Here's the next pitch. It's going to be high for ball 3. So Wilson working the count back in his favor. No runners on in this 10-2 game with 2 outs, but see what Wilson can do with it. He's going to hit this one in the air. Oviedo's going to run over for it, but it's going to be out of play. Oviedo gets it back from whoever was able to corral that foul ball and throw it in. Another payoff pitch coming from Engel. As he winds up and throws. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So just like Monday, pinch hitter Michael Wilson goes down on strikes. And that'll bring us to the bottom of the 6th. Post 14 still leading 10-2. And they'll get another shot at adding on some insurance runs or potentially getting themselves a 10-run rule here in the bottom of the 6th after the 60-second break. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Catch the excitement of Little League Baseball this summer on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
And he takes a pitch for strike 3. Trenton Smedick closes it out.
The fun begins with the Area 1 tournament June 19th through the 23rd and continues with the District 6 tournament July 3rd and 4th. And it's all right here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
Bottom of the 6th inning is brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Buy your next vehicle online, and they'll deliver it to you. If you don't like it, they'll take it back. Visit them online at fordofhagerstown.com. Post 14 up 10-2 here in the bottom of the 6th as they host Funkstown Post 211 here at P.O. Faulkner Park in Martinsburg, West Virginia. So we have a West Virginia versus Maryland cross-state matchup here. Second time this week. First game played at Shepherd at Fairfax Field. Saw a little bit of more action from the bench being emptied out on Monday and more pitchers being used as the players here in the under-19 league were able to get some reps in front of college coaching, the Division II college coaching. A little bit less of that here today, as it'll be now another inning of work for Nolan Rayleigh, who did pretty well for himself in that first inning of work, gave up a leadoff triple to Sam Hefner, but then sent down the next 3, even though Hefner was able to score on a wild pitch. That'll bring us bottom of the 6th. It's 4, 5, and 6th in the order. Post 14. Oviedo, McClintock, and Gross. As I mentioned earlier, Oviedo hasn't been able to get things going yet in this game. He's popped up twice. He'll take the first pitch of this at-bat for a strike. The only member of the lineup for post 14 to not get on base. The only spot in the order at the very least. Have to go through and see these pinch hitters. See who has gotten on and who hasn't. For instance, Wyatt McClintock 0 for 1. Or excuse me, he did draw a walk. So he himself got on base. There's a 2-1 count now as this pitch is outside of the zone. The 2-1 will be inside for ball 3. So far today, Michael Poltar hasn't gotten on base, but did drive in a run. Or RBI ground out. McClintock got himself a hit, I should say. Here's strike 2 on the 3-1. Jet Gross, he was able to get himself a hit. Christian Alter in 2 at-bats went 0 for 2. So that's the only one who can say that, like Oviedo, hasn't gotten on base yet. First 3-2 pitch is fouled off. Rayleigh will step back to the mound. And this is going to be hit real far, but unfortunately for Oviedo, real foul also. Into the trees over between the indoor batting cage and the outdoor batting cage. Another 3-2. It's going to be high, ball 4, so there you go. That ends the streak for Oviedo here. Reaches base. The team leader in walks, adds on one more to his total. That'll give post 14 a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Wyatt McClintock, 1 for 1 with a single. Eventually came around and scored. Yeah, first pitch is going to bounce away from the catcher Dar, and Oviedo is going to be able to jog to second base. As I say that, it's actually Michael Wilson behind the plate now, who pinch hit for Dar in the last half inning, replacing him behind the plate. It's going to be hit on the ground over to first base. In play, Mertz is going to grab it and step on the bag for the first out. Oviedo moves to third. Looks like we have different corner outfielders for post 211 now. Alex Smith out in left, and Jaron Wade out in right. Here comes Jet Gross. Takes the ball high. Gross was able to single in his only at-bat so far after he came in for Christian Alter. So at the very least, every spot in the lineup has now gotten on base for post 14. Swinging strike 1 makes it 1-1. Wind up and the throw from Rayleigh is going to come in low for ball 2. Poltar on deck. Post 14. Here with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th. 8-run lead for the Hornets. And pretty much the same spot as the last one. Ball 3. Dylan Bishop with you on the call for Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. John Alderton is our on-site producer. Kyler High and Alec Epperson behind the cameras. Colin McLaughlin back at the studio. 3-1 pitch runs inside. Jet Gross steps out of the way, and he'll jog down the first for ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Rayleigh. Runners on the corners now. Just 1 out. And as long as we're playing 10-run rule mercy type rules here. That's the winning run over at first base. Poltar will watch the first pitch go into the other batter's box for ball one. Rayleigh, quick look over at first. Now to the plate. Runner will go. Pitches outside for ball two. No throw down. So put that runner now at second base, and that's Jet Gross out there. We know he's got speed. So base hit might wrap us up here. 2-0 pitch. It's going to be hit on the ground to short and off the glove of the shortstop, Jackson Thiessen. 1 run scores. Here comes Jet Gross to the plate. What a throw, but it bounces in front of the catcher. He has to block it, and as he tries to scramble to pick it up, Jet Gross scores. That makes it 12-2, and yep, the bullpen, the dugout empties. Post 14. Here comes Funkstown out as well. Final score will be 12-2 on a 2-run error in the infield there for Funkstown. Gross and McClintock score, and that'll wrap us up. Big time offensive performance 2 nights in a row. 25 runs in about 24 hours, maybe 25, for the Post 14 Hornets. This time 12-2 after winning 13-1 on the road at Potomac Valley Post 64 last night. Go through some of what we've gotten here so far today. Give you some stats before we take a quick break and try to get Trip Tobin up here for an interview, and I'll look at the stats here and determine who we should probably get up here with him as our player of the game. As you had 3 RBIs from Liam Healy, 2 from Braden Edwards, 3 from Michael Poltar, as I think they ruled that last one there a hit rather than an error. It was kind of a tough play as the runner was sort of right next to the fielder. That can always be a little difficult. That kind of messes with your equilibrium, I guess you could say, when you got a guy right next to you, worried about maybe he runs into you. 9 RBIs total on the day for Post 14. Healy with 3, Poltar with 3 in the official scorebook here. Edwards with 2, Trace Huff with 1. 2 for 3 day for Liam Healy. Sam Hefner also 3 for 3 day for him out of the 9 spot. I think it's kind of tough to decide who is a player of the game here. All the pitchers did really well for Post 14. We'll determine that during the break as I gather some stats up here, and we'll take that 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the post-game show. This is American Legion Baseball on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti.
If you've been injured in a car accident, there are 3 things you need to know.
1, do not discuss your accident with an insurance company before you talk to a lawyer.
2, on average, car accident victims with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one.
And 3, at Mansion Ferretti, if we don't win, you don't pay us, guaranteed. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Welcome into the Postgame show here on Talk Radio WRNR and TV 10. Brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. It's a 12-2 victory in 6 innings for Berkeley post 14 over Funkstown post 211. They started things off with 5 runs in the bottom of the second to open up that lead, then added on 3 more in the bottom of the third, and then 1 more in the bottom of the fourth. We thought maybe we'd be on our way to a 4.5 inning game after closing things out in the top of the fifth, but leave a runner on at 9-0 in the fourth. Funkstown answers back with 2 runs in the top of the fifth. Post 14 gets 1 in the bottom of the fifth to make it 10-2, and then Michael Poltar with a 2-run RBI to make it 12-2. And we'll go ahead here, and our player of the game is going to put on the headset here. Liam Healy, 3 RBIs for you on the day on 2 hits, and sacrifice bunt gets you that other RBI there. How are you feeling up at the plate there today?
I was feeling really confident. I was seeing the ball well, and like my first hit with 2 strikes, I was seeing the spin well, adjusting the curveball, and really just confidence and positive approach up there.
You guys have a pretty young team, but so far the pitching's been really good, and the offense has exploded, especially here this last 24 hours or so. You get 25 runs between last night and tonight. How have you guys just been feeling up there, knowing that you guys, you don't have a lot of guys that are in college yet, have, graduated high school, a year removed from high school, whatever yet, but you guys are off to a hot start here, 4 wins in 4 days.
Yeah, I think for us, it really doesn't matter who we play against. If they're older, whatever, we're confident in our ability. We all get along really well, and we're all really confident and loose when we're playing out there.
And it's nice here. You guys have a good mix of pretty much the entire EPAC. You get your Jefferson, Washington, Martinsburg. What's it like playing with these guys from these other schools that, you just probably spent the last couple months playing against?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Some of the guys, some of us have played travel together before. Some guys are new. So it's nice to play with guys that you haven't played with in a while or haven't ever played with before. And we all get along really well, and it's a lot of fun.
That's good here. So moving on, you guys are 4-0 for the week, 4-0 for the season here. How are you feeling at this point for moving forward?
Pretty confident, because going in we knew we had the young team and all that, but as you see, it hasn't really affected us at all, and we know we can compete with anyone no matter what.
Well, there you go. Congrats on the win here. Congrats to your player of the game here for today, and good luck for the rest of the season. Maybe you'll be back up here at some point interviewing again. So
I believe it.
There you go.
All right,
I wouldn't doubt it. So you can hand it off there to Tripp behind you, and we'll talk to him.
Thank you.
Tripp Tobin's going to put on the headset here. And Tripp, it's another great offensive performance for you guys. I think, 25 runs in the last maybe 25 hours.
Yeah.
So how's it feel out there for these guys? How they're doing at the plate?
Yeah, I mean, they are just really tearing it up. I mean, they hit the ball in the gaps. They hit the ball hard. Not that it's not loopy singles. Yeah. I mean, they hit the ball hard, and they attack pitches and get themselves some good hitting counts. And pitchers can't just get we're not sitting. We're not taking 0-0. So if they leave it over the plate, we're going to take a hack at it. And our guys don't really need to take time that much because they know the pitch they want. And they understand what they have to do to try to get in hitters counts. And they take unselfish at bats. They'll take free base too. And you see tonight they'll bunt as well if you ask them.
And it seems like it's up and down the lineup. Sam Hefner in the 9 spot was able to go 3 for 3 even for you. That I'm sure as manager, it's just you can put these guys just about anywhere. It doesn't matter. Your cleanup guy's your cleanup guy, but up and down the order, you've got talent that can hit the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Hefner and Healy, Hefner, Healy, and Huff are just a tremendous three guys together. It's hard to put them 1, 2, 3 and then move, Edwards and Novi and Jameer down. So, when you get one of these guys in the 9-hole, but I mean, Hefner is truly could easily be the leadoff guy or the 2 guy. And you'll see it throughout the season. We'll change it up. He'll get he's led off a game for us, but tremendous speed with those 3 guys. They put a lot of pressure on it, and then, they hit the ball hard, and you can see they can hit the ball to the fence and run like deer. So, they get this offense going, and then, the other guys just drive them in, it seems like.
Yeah, the pitching did really well for you guys today there. Jackson Earl, with 3 innings, he only gives up a hit and a walk, strikes out 3. Alex Danner seemed like he struggled with the control a little bit in that second inning of work, but a really clean first one, and then Engel gets you that last inning there. The pitching today was really strong.
Yeah, it's really strong. I mean, we're working with Alex trying to get his pitch count up, and I'm not sure that he's a guy that you can do a 40-40, a day off, day on. He's probably going to be more of a guy that, gets settled in once to know he's got the game. But, we just want to come off the season and not, throw him 90 pitches right out of the gate. But I do think moving forward in the next couple weeks or so, you're going to see him throw, have here's the game, Danner, you know what I mean, and have a few days off. So, some of these guys, especially the guys throw a lot of velo, they don't recover real well on short rest, and other guys do. And I think Danner, I think he's got to kind of use him a little bit more like Jefferson did, where he throws and then has a few days off, as opposed to short, cutting him down short on pitch count and then bringing him back. And we also need to utilize him in the field as well. So we're feeling these guys out, and right now trying not to get anybody to go too far, 100 pitches or anything in a summer game just yet.
Got to be happy to come out of this 4 games and 4-day stretch at 4-0, don't you?
Yeah, I would have been happy to split with Funkstown if you asked me at the beginning of the week. I definitely wanted the post 64 game, the area game. Frederick was kind of didn't quite know. We knew they had some college guys, and they were going to come up there and throw the ball well, and they just give up too many walks to us. And Frederick and Funkstown are kind of in the same area together, and they both asked me about each other, and I said, you're very similar teams. You have good strong pitching, you make plays, and Frederick just give us a couple, those 3 walks, and Edwards got that big hit, and then these guys just seem to have timely hitting and just want to run the bases, and they're very aggressive. They put so much pressure on the defense, it's unreal.
All right, what's coming up next for you guys here this weekend and the next week?
Yeah, we're going to take tomorrow off. We're going to head to Kutztown tomorrow, or Saturday morning, play there. Then we're going to go to beautiful West Lawn Field up there with the Owls, and might catch a Reddings-Philly game Saturday night after our matinee on Saturday together, and just gel the team a little bit. Got a couple guys starting to see little vacations come into play. Trace Huff will be on vacation. Alter will be on vacation. So we'll start to see that play out and start piece. But like I said about this team, it's not like last year's team where we were kind of 1 or 2 dimensional where guys got hurt. I mean, we can patch and plug guys in. This is a very deep team, and they might be young, but they're hungry, and they got good baseball IQ, and they're not afraid to put on the line for their team. I mean, a lot of doubles tonight, a couple of triples, but those 3 bunts in a row were just that turned the tide on the game. That got Funkstown upset with themselves. That got the coaches upset. That just had them hang their head, and that's what. You're going to give up a double, you're going to give up a triple here and there, but when you get 3 bunts in a row and the ball gets thrown around, it just takes the life out of you that can't get these guys out, and I think that's what at that point those guys, I put the sign down and they did it, so they did a job, and that's the difference, It's one thing somebody double, but when you go bunt, and the guy's up on third on the bunt, you just have to hang your head and say, man, what just happened? What did they just do to us? And I think at that point that was kind of the nail in the coffin, believe it or not, at that point.
All right, looks like we're back here with you on Tuesday. Congrats on the win. We'll see you then.
All right, thanks.
All right. Trip Tobin there. 12-2 win for Post 14. The Hornets get it done 4-0 over the last 4 days. So for that, we'll wrap things up here from P.O. Faulkner Park. For Colin McLaughlin back at the studio, Kyler High and Alec Everson behind the cameras on TV10. John Alderton, our on-site producer. I'm Dylan Bishop saying so long here from P.O. Faulkner Park. And we'll see you again for Post 14 baseball on Tuesday night. And we hope that you have a great rest of your Thursday.
You've been tuned into American Legion Baseball for the continued excitement of high school, college, and Major League Baseball. Keep it tuned to 106.5 FM, AM 740, Comcast Cable Channel 10, and online at talkradiowrnr.com.